Welcome to the session on learning from program interventions. I think many of us have the experience of learning from case studies, and I know in my career at USAID and working in research, it definitely has been the case that case studies help you to understand linkages among different factors in a much more interesting way than kind of PowerPoints and bullets. So I'm Emmy Simmons. I'm a member of the Conference Advisory Committee, former USAID, as I said, and now working with both ILRI and IITA on their programs in Africa. We have four speakers today, and I won't introduce them other than just to give their names and what they're going to be talking about. And we are going to follow the order in which they are listed in your brochure. You all have conference bios, so should you want to follow up on their specific backgrounds or get in touch with them, you can go to that source. Victoria Quinn from Helen Keller International will be talking about homestead food production and nutrition education. Milton Rondolfio will be talking about homegrown school feeding as the coordinator of the International Actions Against Hunger in Brazil. Tom Arnold, on my left, for the CEO of Concern Worldwide, will be talking about realigning agriculture to integrate nutrition project, which is another homestead project. So I am flanked by the homestead agriculture and nutrition projects. And our last speaker will be Grace Marquis on the role of animal source foods and an experience that she had working with the Global Livestock Collaborative Research Support Program supported by USAID in Ghana. I have asked each of the speakers not only to tell their story, to kind of lay out the case study, but to address the question of learning. Because learning is more than just doing. I'm sure many of us know about development projects that started with somebody saying, I have a really good idea. This has worked in someplace I was before. Let's just do it here. I'm sure it'll be fine. And it's kind of the trial and error approach to development. You know, it looks pretty much like it should work here. Let's do it. I've asked the speakers if they could sort of help us understand kind of the analytical models that they were using at starting out, and specifically how they, at least at the project outset, saw the linkages between agriculture, health, and nutrition. I've also asked them to talk a little bit about how their organizations came up with the experimental designs they used. How did they actually choose where to situate the program intervention? How did they choose the partners to work with? How did they choose the particular target populations? Another point, of course, is to bring out sort of no project is done overnight. As the projects went on, as the program interventions went on, what kind of learning occurred as the projects happened? And how formal a process was that? Was there a specific monitoring thing? Was it consultation with partners? Was it village observation? Was it strict measurement, for example, of expected impact? And then finally, sort of helping us to understand this learning process and its implications for sustainability of the program intervention itself or of the impacts that it had achieved. So I want all of the speakers to tell their stories, and I want them to help us understand how those program interventions linked agriculture, nutrition, and health. But I also want them to help us understand how they approached it in a way that I think contributes to all of our learning about similar kinds of interventions that we may be involved with or considering or supporting. So with that, let me just kick it off then with Victoria Quinn from Helen Keller Institute. Thank you, Victoria.